Hi Virgo, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your third week of February pick a card reading. Not everything is going to resonate because this is a general reading for lots of people. However, I do personal readings and those will be through email. I communicate a little bit better in writing than I do speaking anyways. So you can order one through my Etsy page and I have lots of different ones, and if it's too confusing just go to build your own reading and you can pick the cards that resonate, and you can also control the cost by how many cards you choose. So then also go ahead and subscribe because I have new readings coming out every week, and if you want to follow along with the story, subscription is the best way to keep up. If at any time during the reading something does make sense to you or it feels like it's going to help or it's a hit, go ahead and hit that like button to let me know. And so this month your energy is the Nine of Swords, so there's going to be some worry and anxiety you're trying to work through. And this week your theme is communication. And so these cards came out in your 2020 annual and your February monthly, and those are linked below if you like to see me shuffle on camera and see these pop out and I talk a little bit more about them. So if you would tell me in the comments what it is that's kind of on your mind, what could be causing you some anxiety, sleepless nights, worry, and then with communication, go ahead and also in your comment ask yourself, who can I ask for reassurance on this? And put that in writing, and then maybe it'll give you the courage to communicate with that person. I'm using Nature Speak Oracle and White Sage Tarot. I have stack 1, 2, 3. They're timestamped below. Let's get going. So Virgo, stack 1. You have the Death card. This deck loves that card. I feel like that comes out a lot. Reverse Ace of Cups. I'm going to hold that up just long enough for it to focus. And Snow, Awakening Dreams. So reverse Ace of Cups, it's indicating that there's some emotional repression and some holding back. And with the Death being something that there is going to be a need to let go, something old has to be shed so that you can give birth to something new. This emotional repression is going to be holding you back from a very big and significant transformation. And talking about awakening dreams, that is what is going to be born from this. So there is something stagnant, something that's holding you back, like the skin of a snake that's too tight and it's time to outgrow it. And this Ace of Cups being like a holding on and a repression, there's a sense of needing to detach and let it go, the way that when you see your haircut and you see the clumps of hair on the floor, you don't identify with it. It's like that's you, not you anymore. That's something else. And like probably a skin or snake slithers away from its skin, and it's not like, oh, there's no wistfulness or worry about that part. It's like there's total disassociation from it. So there's your continuity of existence is maintained. So I'm feeling like it is time to release your grip on that and allow yourself to fertilize and water your dreams, whatever they are at this time. And with communication, it's time to speak them into existence. It's one thing to have an idea and to give it some thought, but give it form by putting it into words in one way or another. Whether you're putting it in writing or whether you're telling it to another person, give that dream form by speaking it into existence. All right, Virgo. Stack 2, you have Ace of Pentacles, reverse Ace of Swords, and Mountain, Spiritual Quest. This is interesting. So spiritual quest, so there's something spiritual, and with Ace of Pentacles it's something physical. There's something new that you're starting in the physical realm. But with this reverse Ace of Swords, it's something that you can't understand on an intellectual level. It's something that you can't think your way through. It's something you can't rationalize through. And that's why this Nine of Swords is so unproductive. Nine of Swords is something that you can't control. It's something that's out of the realm of intellect. And so this spiritual journey is going to be something you won't find it in books. You're going to find it by communing with nature in some way, by connecting with your body in some way. There's some yogic aspects to this, some dance aspects to this, but there's a letting go of expectation and opening yourself up to some fresh truth. But with communication, I'm getting that this is music, this is lyrics. I'm trying to think, what is something that is spiritual and physical and not intellectual. That is a communication. What can be a communication that doesn't involve the intellect, but involves physicality and spirituality? And it's music, it's singing. I'm hearing this communication is sung in some way. That's what I'm feeling very specifically for Virgo stack 2. Stack 3, you have, if I can pick it up, the King of Wands, the Hermit, and Gardenia, emotional protection. So the King of Wands and the Hermit, I'm hearing gentle leadership through empathy. Gentle leadership through empathy. And your experiences, and how your experiences can show you inside of others. Being able to have empathy, being able to understand yourself and your schematics and your inner workings thoroughly, and understanding your triggers so thoroughly. I'm trying to expand on this idea of emotional protection. You are protected by being triggered by others, by understanding thoroughly the way you work and the way your triggers work. And the reason that is, the information that you get from that is being able to see more clearly into the inner workings of others. Not because they're necessarily similar, but what is the common thread is the way that everyone has their own stuff to deal with. Everyone has their own pains and problems. Everyone has their own triggers. And when you realize that the way people are reacting and the way people are treating and responding to you, when you realize how much that has to do with them, because you've started to understand how much yours have to do with you and how little they have to do with others, there's a way to detach from those reactions and realize that they are responding to something going on inside of them. And so you can protect yourself and draw a boundary around yourself by realizing that they're dealing with something that doesn't have to do with me. And so you can create a gap between what they are reacting to and you're taking it personally when you realize that it has nothing to do with you. And you do that because you've been able to understand what's true for you is also true for others. And in doing so, getting that clarity, I feel like your communication is going to improve dramatically. This is talking about asking for reassurance. If you have questions, find out the answer and don't just create a story and worry. If there's something you want someone to know, say so. And I feel like a lot of what's involved in this is the way you learn therapy. I learned this in a little workshop I downloaded. It was the way, instead of saying you did this to me or I'm mad at you because, you say, I feel blank when you blank because of my issues with blank. And can you start conversations about things that are troubling you with another using that sentence? Give it a try. All right, Virgo? And let me know in the comments how it works out for you if you've ever heard of that. I'm curious. All right? Thank you, and I'll talk to you next week.